Hey, this is Carter Hawthorne, and this is my project as of the end of winter quarter 2025. Little recap. I'm making a two-person co-op game with no game engine, so I'm only using existing Java libraries. And the quarter goal was just a working demo of mostly of the multiplayer. So getting players to connect, letting characters move around on each other's screens, so that each one's game state is affected by the other. So yeah, again, focus on multiplayer. Here's my GitHub, which we'll look at in a moment. So I've made a lot of network improvements. So I changed the connection logic so that the second socket connection is not hard coded, which meant I could try it on a different machine, and I confirmed that the connection works across different machines, at least on the same network. Not only that, but the movement choppiness I was dealing with earlier turned out to be entirely just an issue with my laptop being old, because the other system I tried it on ran perfectly. It was very smooth. So I also added a basic NPC class and set an NPC object to move on both game instances, so we can see there's some things that aren't controlled by the player and are the same, deterministic. So again, worked on that network connection, allowed two users to connect, basic NPC class. Network connection is complete for now. It's working. Probably need updates in the future, so increasing the amount of data that packets send depending on what's in the game. And then if there are ever important packets, like things that need to be sent in a certain order and they have to arrive in that order, I'll have to add some sort of packet handling. For now, it's UDP, and it's not a big deal because even if a packet gets dropped, I'm sending a packet every update loop. So if something gets missed, then the next frame will have it. So the NPC class will be fleshed out as I work on the project, add some features and interactions, so that'll just be feature stuff. So we can see upcoming work here. Next quarter, gameplay and UI updates. So sprites, fonts, tiles, object interactions, more game stuff, less back-end stuff. No blockers currently. Everything's going great. And so in conclusion, I have a pretty solid foundation to build off of. I'm pretty happy with the overall state. I didn't get quite as far into the game as I may have wanted to, but what I have is really good to build off of. It's a lot of back end. So now I can focus on creativity instead of implementation, right? So this quarter was mostly just, there's kind of like one right way to get two things connecting, and now that that's working, I can add things based off of, oh, I want this to happen, I want this to happen, and I'll have something to build off of there. So let's go take a look at the code. Try it on my GitHub. I think it'll be easier to see all the changes I made. So you can see I added this NPC class. Might have to do some refactoring. We'll see in the future. But it's based off of my entity class. Extends it. We have just color. It's just set to currently move left and right across the screen based off its position. And it's just drawn through the graphics 2D. In the game panel, added that NPC. Changed the FPS. I was messing around trying to figure out why it was choppy. Turned out to be my hardware. Added this here, so now the server started on message only shows up on the first connector, because the second time, since there's already a socket connection, when you're making the second socket, you don't need to let the other person know what your address is. The game can just handle all that for you. Added this here. Up, down, left, right weren't actually connected to anything, so now I changed it so the packets actually have data in them, and so the movement works. So then there's some updating going on. We draw the NPC. In the key handler, just updated a few things, added some comments. Added this here in the network handler. And we join the server based off of the address of the other one. Again, this is so you don't have to, instead of being hard-coded like this, we can actually just get it from the packet that's being sent. And then finally, just set that address one time so it knows. And let's take a look at the actual code. So we'll run both of these. Got 2 instances going. On this one, we'll hit start server. Server started. This one will hit join. Enter the address, and now they should auto connect to each other. And you can see that it's really choppy on here. I'm running 2 instances of the game and recording software, but I promise that on a better machine, or at least one that isn't 10 years old, my laptop's from 2014, it works a lot better. But if I move this guy, you can see that the blue one moves on this side, and if I move this one, you can see that the green one moves on that side. So their movements are being updated on each other's screens, and that's great. That means that our packets are actually connected and we're moving around. And you can see that that NPC, since it's not based off of the player movement, moves on its own, and is the same on both instances. Although maybe they don't look exactly equal because of this lag. But this is really big. I'm glad that I was able to get these connected. We have the basics of a game going. We have player interaction. And I was very excited to see these connecting and working together. So for future updates, I want to add a nice tile system, add actual sprites for these guys, more interactions with NPCs. But since all of this is working, I can just build on top of that, and that's very, very, very exciting. A lot of space for more. And that is the game so far.